Dear reader, it is of my humble opinion that the diamond of a season is named not purely based on her charms and her manners, but rather on what she has chosen to enrich her mind with. I am never one to back down from the exposure of a scandal. It is for this reason that I must declare Miss Sam a most ineligible debutante. Rumor has it that she spent her weekend binge-watching the Bridgerton series, not once, but 3 times. Yours truly, Lady Whistledown.
Lady Whistledown is right. I did spend my entire weekend watching Bridgerton and I do not regret it. The costumes, the script, the story, it was so interesting and so entertaining. I think it's really cool to get completely lost in a show like this and enjoy it and appreciate it. But at the same time, I don't think we should idealize the time periods in which these shows were set. The makers of the show did put a disclaimer out there saying that it was inspired by the Regency era and it is not historically accurate, not meant to be historically accurate at all. But I'm not a history buff, and if you do want to know a little bit more about the historical facts of the time and what people actually wore and thought, I'll link a video in the description and like the thumbnail is here. It's a really interesting watch. Now that I've said that, I think we can move into the fun part of the video, which is turning myself into a Bridgerton babe. Is this look going to be historically accurate? No. And is it going to be Bridgerton accurate? Also no. But I'm just going to try to mimic the aesthetic of the show and yeah, just let me have this, okay? I really want to live out my fantasies. I'm pretty sure the women of Bridgerton did not wear men's t-shirts.
How unladylike.
So I'm gonna change into something a little bit more womanly. Give me a second. This is the closest thing I have to a similar-ish aesthetic. It reminds me of Miss Marina Thompson from season 1, if you remember her. She has a lot of like these pink motifs and colors. It's pretty, right? Okay, I'm gonna switch to voiceover and put the mic down because I have to do my makeup and hair now. First, let's get these locks out of the way and then survey my pretty bad summer skin situation. It's going to take quite a bit of work to cover all that, and we do not have lead and arsenic at our disposal. I wanted to base this whole look off of the women of color in the show, and a lot of them had this beautiful satin finish skin. So to achieve that, I'm going to mix 2 of my foundation. The first one is my NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop foundation, and this thing is so mattifying. It blurs out everything, even the footage on the camera apparently. Oh look, it even blurred out the footage of my Flower Beauty Light Illuminating Foundation. But I'm going to mix those 2, 1 drop of each, and spread it out on my hand so that I can evenly distribute it on the brush. And then we can stipple it all over my face, concentrating it on the areas that need it the most and letting my natural skin shine through wherever I can. Which, as you can see, is not a lot of place right now because I've been having a very bad skin week. And there you go, a perfect satin finish base.
What a scandal.
Let's fix that. I'm sure the Sharma family go to bed on time every day, but I do not, so next we have to hide these dark circles. I'm gonna mix a concealer that's a little bit deeper and pinker than my skin tone with my matte foundation, essentially creating a custom color correcting shade, which I will put in the sockets of my eyes and around my eyes wherever I feel like I need to hide some darkness. After that, I'm gonna just fan it and let it set for a while before blending it out. And meanwhile, I'm going to color correct any dark spots that are showing through the foundation. It's always a good idea to start with a thin layer of makeup and then see what needs fixing. Gotta get that mustache area as well. Then to make sure our blemishes remain concealed while we promenade and ballroom dance, I'm gonna use this Milani setting powder. It's got an illuminating finish, which is really nice. It doesn't leave you way too matte, but it sets your makeup. I'm just gonna concentrate that on the parts of my face that I really don't want to show through later in the day. By the way, this is a very wearable way to do your foundation on a daily basis as well. I'm not doing it just for the camera. A lot of the brown Bridgerton baddies were rocking some sort of a gloss or a nude lip. I'm going to be using this Tint Cosmetics lip gloss in the shade Peppermint Schnapps. And it's a really moisturizing, not too goopy or sticky lip gloss. I prefer thicker lip glosses, but if you like a thinner one, this is great. Okay, so now for eyes and cheeks, I'm going to try and mimic Miss Edwina Sharma's makeup look because I think my face structure is closest to hers out of all the Sharma sisters. In a lot of the scenes, she had a really nice skin tone pearly shadow on her eyelids that caught the light whenever she moved and blinked. So I'm going to use this ancient Maybelline palette and take that caramelly looking shade and use my finger to put it on my eyelids. And as you can see, it's really brightening and shiny, and I'm going to use that under my eyes a little bit as well to add to the brightness. Next, let's crimp these eyelashes until they see God. They were rocking a very wispy, separated eyelash look, so we need our eyelashes to do most of the talking and use very little mascara so that we avoid spider lashes. But also be careful. Okay, next we're gonna use this Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara on my eyelashes. It gives a lot of separation and length, but not a lot of volume, which I appreciate. I like to see my makeup behind my eyelashes. I didn't do all that work for nothing. And there we go, the eyes are done. Now to emulate Miss Edwina's rosy cheeks, I'm going to use the Flower Beauty Blush Balm in the shade Cinnamon. And I like liquid blushes a lot because they give you a bit of a glow and they melt with your skin. They don't look powdery on the face. Now to achieve a really natural rouge look, I'm going to place the blush on the parts of my face where I can see the bone pressing against the skin and match the color of my eyelids and my knuckles when I pick a blush color. And our gorgeous debutante makeup look is done. Now on to the hair. I do not have servants who do my hair for me, and I'm not very good at doing it myself, so bear with me for this. The one thing I knew going into this is that I wanted those beautiful face framing curls that a lot of the characters had, so I sectioned those bits out. And then after securing the top half of my head, I tried to figure out what I could use as a makeshift tiara because everybody was always wearing one and I don't own one. I finally settled on this string of glass bead looking things, and I tried very hard to attach it to my head. This was a process. After what seemed like an hour, I finally managed to jam a pin on either side of it before it swung onto my face again, and realized it was too far back, fixed it to move it a little forward again, and then tried to see what to do next. At first I wanted to copy Daphne's half up half down hairstyle, but I quickly realized that it is India and it is summer and I would drown in a pool of sweat if I tried. So I quickly wrapped it back up into a bun and then pulled those face framing bits out again. Next, I pulled out that tendril of hair that's gonna wrap around your shoulder once you curl it, and then ensured the very complicated process of making sure the bun stays in place and looks somewhat elegant. So I jammed pins in there and then jammed more pins in there and tried to flatten it as much as possible until I finally gave up and decided that was good enough. And to accessorize, I have this string of scandalously fake pearls. I do not have any fake rubies, however. So I just put that on and then tried to adjust it so that it lines up with the neck of my dress. Okay, now let's get back to the hair. Now for the most satisfying part, we're gonna grab those face framing bits and then curl them until they shrink to half their length and double their volume. Next, we're gonna finger twirl it a little bit and look at that perfect curl. Let's quickly get all the other bits. I'm aware that this is dreadfully mind-numbingly boring to watch in normal speed, so I'm just going to speed it up. And then finally we reach the strand we've all been waiting for, or at least I've been waiting for. That perfect, fierce shoulder curl. Now dancing is an exertion and we do not want frizz, so I'm just going to take a little bit of this hair serum and make sure that these face framing curls all stay smooth and groomed to perfection. There we go, the look is complete. I had so much fun dressing up like this, and I'm aware that I did not touch upon more serious topics regarding the show. For example, the lack of Asian and South Asian representation in season 1 versus season 2. I think progress is a much better goal to have than perfection, and I was just really glad to see brown girls on a screen being appreciated for their beauty, not being whitewashed, and just accepted as the gorgeous girls that we are. Okay, you guys, I feel like a princess, or maybe more accurately like a viscountess. Some of you guys have pointed out that you would like me to upload more often, so if you do, please let me know if you're okay with me doing slightly lower production value videos where there's a little less editing and a little more talking and just chilling with you guys. If so, I can probably upload a little bit more often. If you liked this video and thought it was not too shabby, subscribe so that I can see your face again, and I'll see you guys next time.